Joining us, kind enough to join us on this day, is the man who threw the ball that wound up in the hands of Franco Harris, and is one of my favorite people and America's favorite people, quite frankly. Pro Football Hall of Famer, and of course NFL on Fox. Terry Bradshaw here on the Rich Eisen Show, Mercedes-Benz Vans phone line. How you doing, Terry?
Hey, Rich. How you doing, buddy?
Well, I mean, I obviously caught off guard, and I am so overwhelmed with grief. I'd love to just give you the floor and tell us how you're feeling right now.
Well,
Terry.
I just was with Franco 2 weeks ago filming a Immaculate Reception NFT, and we had so much fun. The night before we filmed, he and Dana and Tammy and we all went to a great Italian restaurant. We had some great wine. We had some great stories. We have, as we always do when we're together, we had so much fun laughing and kind of picking at one another, and it was just a great evening. We filmed all day the next day and laughed and cut up again, as we always do. And then all of a sudden, at 3 a.m. this morning, you get a notification that he passed away, and you just try to put it in perspective. Wait a minute. Friday is a celebration of the 50th year of the Immaculate Reception. Pittsburgh's going to go back and relive this. Some of the Raiders are coming in for it. 50 years later, there's got to be a healing somehow. I don't think John Madden ever got over it, but that's unfortunate. But Saturday, you just alluded to the fact you're going to be covering the game. At halftime, his number's being retired. He would be only the third jersey number in Steeler history to have his number retired, which is a major, major award, a great accomplishment. And now, as you said, it's going to bring back. Now it's going to be a great celebration. Now, not only of the number 32 being retired, but of the life of Franco. And quite honestly, it hits me, and then emotionally it leaves me. Then it hits me. I'm just back and forth on it, and I'm having a hard time kind of grasping it, actually. But such a great teammate, such a great friend, and someone that everybody that's come in contact with Franco Harris knows that he was a gentleman, always smiling. I never saw the man upset except one time in Super Bowl 13. Rich, I got sacked, and he thought that Hollywood Henderson had roughed me up. He was steaming. He said very little in the huddle, and unless I asked him a question. But this time he said, Brad. He called me Brad instead of TV. He said, Brad, give me the ball. I want the ball. Well, I called my own plays. I didn't have to wait for it to come in from the sideline or the press box. So I called 93 tackle trap. It's primarily a great goal line play. It's great against the blitz, and I anticipated blitz. We're on the 22-yard line. Cowboys showed blitz. I went, oh, my God, I got the perfect play. I'm walking up. I called it on first sound, which means there's no cadence. It's just, hut, and away we go. So the Cowboys have shifted their safeties over. Hut, the ball snapped. Cliff Harris runs into the umpire. The umpire blocks Cliff Harris and freed Franco for a 22-yard touchdown. And a week later at the Pro Bowl, Cliff Harris and Charlie Waters told me they did that on their own. They got out of position to give me a blitz look to get me to call a play into the strength would have been their defense. And I said, oh, that's great. I thought it was a blitz. It wasn't a blitz. And then I said, well, it must have been a good reunion on the sideline between you and Tom Landry. And he knew you guys had done this on your own. That's one of the best stories I've got of Franco, other than he used to always tell me, Brad, do you eat blueberries? And I said, I love blueberries. I don't buy them every day, but I eat blueberries. Yeah, Brad, you got to eat blueberries. You got to eat 2 cups of blueberries every day. They're great brain food. I wish I'd have known that when I was playing. I'd eat a gallon a day. So he was always on me about eating blueberries. And I used to tell him, you're telling me to eat blueberries, and you're selling donuts to kids in elementary school. I mean, I could go on and on and on because
love it, Terry.
While we mourn the loss, we celebrate the life and the impact that he had on all of us that were fortunate enough to either been a teammate or to come in contact with him.
Yeah, and that's again, Terry, the beauty of what Saturday night will be. Obviously, there will be some mourning and there'll be remembrance, but there'll be celebration and there'll be stories like this and so you got a good one about who the type of man he was. He was a man of the year. You know, this is before the award was named after Walter Payton. Right. And how, you know, what he meant to the people in that city. You had a front row seat to the blossoming of that. Right. For sure.
He was since he was the first, offensively, the first great player in Steeler history. Joe Green would have been the first great, in my opinion, the greatest defensive person in Steeler history. Franco stayed in Pittsburgh, built his company in Pittsburgh, was a community giver, loved and adored by all the Steeler fans who saw him all the time. And that's, you know what, Rich? I was talking to Mike Wagner yesterday, and I said, golly, Mike, you know, if I have one regret in my life, I wish I'd have been a better teammate. And Mike said, well, you were there way before the other players got there. You stayed after everybody. You know, you don't be so hard on yourself. And I don't know, Rich, why I said that. And now I lose one of the greatest teammates I ever had. I mean, easily one of the greatest teammates I ever had. A guy that constantly was picking me up. A guy that believed in me. You know, I love you, Brad. And he would stutter sometimes. I love you, Brad. And I used to make fun of him all the time. You know, the Immaculate Reception.
Yes.
The reason he caught the ball was he was supposed to block. The play was 66 circle option. He was to stay in and block, and he drifted to the left, and he didn't block anybody. And I move out of the pocket, and he was taught under Joe Paterno at Penn State, because I asked him this 2 weeks ago. I said, why did you go to the football? How'd you get there? He said, he's laughing when he told him, but he said, Coach Joe Paterno told us that when the quarterback throws the ball, run to the ball. And he said, when you threw the ball, Brad, I ran to the ball, and the ball, there was the collision, and the ball came to me, and I just reached down and grabbed it. So, you know, while I made fun of him for not blocking, he made up for it by running to the ball and making the catch. Then, of course, the controversy and the play 50 years later. Did he not touch? Who knows? And that's what makes it so great.
Well, I mean, and Terry, and I'd be remiss if I didn't use the few minutes I have with you left here to delve deeper into this. At the time, though, in real time, as it was happening, the question of the moment wasn't whether Franco plucked it out of the air or off the Three Rivers turf. It really was whether the ball hit Jack Tatum, because if it didn't, if it hit Frenchie Fuqua and it went into another offensive player's arms on the carom, it would have been illegal on the spot. So what was happening from your perspective in the moments after Franco hit the end zone?
When I threw the ball and got hit and I hit the ground, I heard the roar. And I knew it was a touchdown. There's no question it was a touchdown. And I got up, and, you know, everything just went crazy. And I'm all of a sudden, I started asking questions, you know, who caught it, what happened, because I didn't know. I didn't see it.
Unbelievable.
And then they were telling me, you know, the ball, Frenchie had hit Tatum. Tatum bounced off his shoulder pad. Franco got the ball, caught it out of the air, and ran for it. You know, I didn't really get all of this until we got into the locker room.
Right.
And I was just, you know, now come again on what happened? and how many cameras are you going to have Saturday night at this game?
Right.
How many tape machines are you going to have? And they got high def. And today's game, you would be able, Rich, to break that thing down
right.
to the last frame from every angle in the world and go, oh, look, it hit his little finger. Therefore, it's not a complete pass. And I think the thing, because for all your listeners out there, the ball had to be touched by the defense
right.
last before we could take possession if we got a bounce off. And that's the question wasn't whether or not Tatum hit it. There's no question he hit it. He hit it because the ball came back too far. The question is then, when he hit it, did it go through Frenchie's hands? Because Frenchie was reaching out to catch it. So there's no way the ball would have hit his hands and gone back 20 feet, 20, 30 feet, whatever it was. It had the impetus had to come from Jack Tatum. But it could have easily gone through Frenchie's hands. So we're never going to know. And I tell people, the greatest thing about the 70s was how physical the game was and how when the referee made a decision, everybody would scream and holler and jump and boo and want to annihilate this official. We have time, we have replays. Let's go to the camera, indisputable evidence. We got it all. Now we try to get a perfect game. But that play and that controversy and the hatred of the Raiders for the Steelers and how they got jilted out of a chance to play Miami and go to the Super Bowl was what made, I think, the 70s, the Steeler rivalry with the Raiders, a must-see, a must-watch contest. And it made the NFL great, as opposed to now we have basically as close to a perfect game, as we can get. So I'm thankful for the Immaculate Reception, and I'm thankful for all the heartache it caused the Raiders, and bless his heart, John Madden. But it has served the NFL well. And
it's the greatest story any quarterback can ever tell of his first career playoff touchdown pass as well. That's it.
And listen, Rich, I like to tell people when I was laying on the ground and I heard the roar, I'm laying there going, "You son of a gun! You did it! You did it under duress. You fired that baby down there, and I don't know who caught it, but boy, I'm a hero to millions. I'm probably going to make $12,000, $15,000 this offseason to go with the 30 I just made for the year. Man alive, a hero to millions. There'll be books. There's going to be a movie about it. I'm going to be so you just build it up, and then you stand up and find out, what? It did what now? Where? It hit who? Oh, it did hit him last. Oh, my God. Oh. It's just a good story, man.
It sure is. And again, we're going to remember it on Saturday night. So before I send you back into your day, last one, what do you want people to remember about Franco? Terry?
Well, I think when you meet a great person, if they never had the pleasure of meeting a superstar who was so humble, he was just a humble superstar. Everybody loved him. Everybody. Phil Filippiano is going to be there. Why would he be there if he didn't love Franco Harris and what he represented?
Right.
He was a gentleman off the field. He was a gentleman on the field. But a great, great teammate. Just everybody would want their kids, their young men, to be affected by Franco and the way he held himself and accounted for himself, and the humility that he had as such an awesome player. Yeah, I'll never forget him, and that smile and that encouragement always from Franco. I mean, I just loved him to death.
What an honor that you said yes and made the time in your day for me and this show, sir.
Yeah.
You're the best, Terry.
Thank you, my friend.
Absolutely.
Man.
How's your health? You okay? You doing all right?
I'm good.
Excellent.
I've had my 3-month observation for both cancers, and I'm cancer-free.
Oh, that's awesome.
I start back in January for what do they call those maintenance treatments.
Okay.
So I'll go back in and do more treatments, but thank God, I'm celebrating Christmas with my family, cancer-free, and that would have been hard to say a year ago. You know what I mean?
Well, bless you for that, Terry.
Oh,
bless you on that, and I will see you at the Super Bowl I will see you there.
You got it, buddy.
You take care.
Okay, Rich.
Bless you.
Merry Christmas.
Same to you.
You bet.
The great Terry Bradshaw,
bye-bye.
right here. That's the one and only.